everybody, we are from Group 5 and in this video we are going to talk about Marxism. Take your seat and enjoy! The topics we are going to talk about will include the background of Marxism, the basic knowledge about Marxism and its relation with Frankfurt School, and the basic knowledge about Frankfurt School and its relation with critical theory. Now, let's start with the introduction of Marxism. What is Marxism? Marxism is a social, political, and economic philosophy named after Karl Marx. It examines the effect of capitalism on labor, productivity, and economic development, and argues for a worker revolution to overturn capitalism in favor of communism. Marxism posits that the struggle between social classes, especially between the bourgeoisie or the capitalists and the proletariat or the workers, defines economic relations in a capitalist economy and will inevitably lead to revolutionary communism. After knowing the background, now let's move to the thoughts of Marxism. So basically, there are three main points related to the Marxist theory. Those are communism, socialism, and capitalism. According to Marx and Engels' ideas, communism is the system which advocates classless economic system in which all property and wealth are owned communally rather than privately. And although the former Soviet Union, China, and Cuba, among other nations, have had nominally communist governments, there has never actually been a purely communist state that has completely eliminated personal property, money, and class systems. And next, socialism is based on public ownership of the means of production, but individuals may still own property. This system predates communism by several decades, and its early adherents called for a more egalitarian distribution of wealth, solidarity among workers, better working conditions, and common ownership of land and manufacturing equipments. Then what about capitalism? Capitalism is an economic system characterized by private ownership and a system of laws that protect the right to own or transfer private property, in which opposed by communism and socialism. In a capitalist economy, private individuals and enterprises own the means of production and the right to profit from them. That's why communism and socialism aim to right the wrongs of capitalism's free market system, especially in workers' exploitation and the inequity between the bourgeoisie and the proletariats. So, Marx's thoughts was used to build a new practical philosophy using Hegel's dialectics, but with the framework of Marx's materialism. And Marxism was then being revitalized by Frankfurt School, which complemented with a critique of the contextual based on conditions of its time.
Alright, the next is the introduction to Frankfurt School. The term Frankfurt School has come to be used widely to design both a group of intellectuals and a specific social theory. The intellectuals concerned were associated with the Institute for Social Forschung or Institute for Social Research, which was established in Frankfurt in 1923 and officially opened in June of 1924. Adorno described Frankfurt School as a critical sociology which saw society as an antagonistic totality and which included Hegel and Marx thinking, but rather saw itself as their heir. Frankfurt School was inspired by the thoughts of Karl Marx or revitalization of Marxism. Then the present study focused on this period between 1930 and early 40s and stresses the intense Marxist orientation of the Frankfurt School formative years, an orientation which is distorted in the vast majority of the commentaries at hand today, where the Frankfurt Schools were in its early years is from the slanderous level of Marxists. Then, the Frankfurt School is the original source of critical theory. Then, what is critical theory? Critical theory itself discusses a method which is a constant topic for those critical theorists who have attempted to clarify the specificity of what it means for social theory to be critical. Moreover, the academic influence of the critical method is still far-reaching in terms of educational institutions in which such tradition is being taught. Also, critical theory provides a specific interpretation of Marxist philosophy and reinterprets some of its central economic and political notions, such as commodifications, reifications, fetishizations, and critique of mass culture. There are Marx, Horkheimer, Herbert Marcuse, Adorno who give contribution to the formation of a school of critical theory. So, Frankfurt School and critical theory more than just a school of thought. It has become customary to speak of first generation and second generation critical theories, and to distinguish the older Frankfurt School from what has developed from it since the 1970s. Then, what is the implementation from Marxism? There is an example that there are several cases of economic inequality in Indonesia involving entrepreneurs who have larger capital and entrepreneurs who have smaller capital. Entrepreneurs who have larger capital are usually owned by big brands such as Indomaret or Alfamart, while other entrepreneurs in the form of smaller stalls have smaller capital as well. They all compete in the business world, but it is unavoidable that the fact that entrepreneurs who have more capital will get more profits and more customers. Here, there is a gap that results in an imbalance in business. The implementation of Marx thinking in this case is the role of the government to help these small entrepreneurs to develop their business and balance the business climate in Indonesia by making several policies that can help them. Some of the policies from the government are: first, creating a conducive business climate by facilitating the licensing of business establishments; second, capital assistance by providing credit assistance without collateral with small interest; and third, business protection through laws or government policies. And these are some resources that we use for our presentation. And that's all from us. We hope you enjoy it, and thank you for your kind of attention. Goodbye.